What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis. Our thoughts and prayers go out to Florida and now some surrounding states up above them as well that are affected by the Hurricane Ian. I was actually surprised to see how much water had come actually inland, even in the middle of the state in Orlando, even feet and feet of water. Absolutely shocking. Let me know your thoughts, or let me know if you're safe. And we've had thousands and thousands of viewers here in the comments. Please let us know in the comments how you are. If you are from Florida, or if you have any friends or families, let us know down below in the comment section how you're doing. Here, look, take a listen.
Michael, almost 2 days now after it made landfall in southwest Florida, and search and rescues are happening as we speak. Such a broad area impacted, and now Ian is looking to do its fourth landfall later today.
This morning, a constant stream of overwhelming images, a glaring reflection of Hurricane Ian's power. The behemoth making landfall Wednesday afternoon as a Category 4. Ferocious winds topping 150 miles per hour, gouging parts of southwest Florida. Ian making history as one of the top 10 strongest on record in the United States, shredding homes and swallowing entire neighborhoods in that record-breaking storm surge. The monster storm claiming several lives. So far, at least 21 people killed. That number expected to rise.
This could be the deadliest hurricane in Florida's history.
One of the most hard-hit regions, Fort Myers Beach. Watch as storm surge rips this house off its foundation, carrying it away. Boats floating through a neighborhood.
Those four goals!
This time-lapse of the beach capturing the rush of the surge into the streets. That same spot after, demolished. All that's left, piles of debris. And as the sun rose Thursday morning, we navigated through the dawn of destruction Ian left behind.
The roads are a wreck, and this is going to make it so hard for people to get in to rescue folks.
The Sanibel Causeway impassable after being battered by the epic surge. The Coast Guard hoisting people trapped near the island. At the Siesta Bay RV Park, we meet Hallie, who rode out the storm with her cat, climbing into bed as the rapidly rising water crushed into her home.
The bed here rose up in the floodwaters, and she said she only had about 1.5 feet of clearance to breathe.
I'm homeless and scared.
Bruce Palmel planned to evacuate, but woke up early and figured he had a little more time, so he went back to sleep.
Kind of woke up to find myself floating about an arm away from my roof. So I climbed out of the house and climbed up on the roof and was there for 5.5 hours.
But it's not just Bruce and Hallie that lost their home.
In this neighborhood alone, there are hundreds of homes. You can see from our drone there that each of these took on at least 12 feet of water. They are all total losses. So many people losing their homes, not just in this neighborhood, but if you look at the telestrator that I have that I can draw on here, the water came from way back there, almost 3 miles from the Gulf of Mexico.
Since 1970, the Fort Myers area has grown by more than 600%. You can see it clearly in this graphic. And on this next one, this was the warning for storm surge over 9 feet, inundating a lot of that new population. Massive rescue efforts underway across the coast.
There have been more than 700 confirmed rescues, and there's likely many more than that.
1,000 FEMA personnel deployed, supplying millions of liters of water, meals, and hundreds of generators. About 2 million people still without power. Just heartbreaking ruin at every turn. But resilience and gratitude right there, too.
You know, the men and women of the urban search and rescue teams have the most amazing fire in their belly. They're my heroes, and what they do is God's work.
In Orlando, historic flooding, more than 12 inches of rain. From this nursing home alone, 106 residents were taken out after the floodwaters tried to get in, despite those sandbags. Arjanae Norman right there after the rescue.
Ever seen anything like this?
No, ma'am, I have not. Not with this much water in Central Florida.
Did you know that Charleston and South Carolina, the coast, of South Carolina, hasn't had a landfall of a hurricane in 6 years, since Matthew? Unfortunately, you'll see one later this afternoon likely, as this, an 85-mile-per-hour max-sustained Ian, is headed right now north-northeast, but will turn back to that South Carolina coast. We already have a flash flood warning for Charleston. This is a preemptive because the water will push early ahead of the storm toward Charleston. High tide happens sometime around noon, but it looks like it'll make landfall north of Charleston before Myrtle Beach, perhaps around Georgetown. Wherever it does make landfall, remember, the push of water happens on the right side because these rotate counterclockwise, and then you can get a push of water away. Cecilia, surge is first concern, 4 to 7 feet, but also 5 to 10 inches of rain. So flash flooding is the second most killer.
So, yeah, we're now looking at tens of millions of people in states as high as Virginia now. You can see here even tornadoes in Virginia as Ian approaches the Carolinas. So, yeah, please be safe. If you're under evacuation warnings, please take them seriously. You can see how bad this storm is. The rainfall is unbelievable. The storm surge is unbelievable. A lot of people didn't take this storm seriously. It's a very, very bad one. It's literally kind of a storm of the century. So please, please take as many precautions as possible. Read the comments in the comments section. You'll see comments from dozens, hundreds of people. My thoughts and prayers go out to everybody. 6 Republican-led states are suing the Biden administration over the student loan forgiveness plan. It's now the second lawsuit filed this week against the president's student loan debt cancellation program, which is expected to be implemented in October. It's kind of confusing to me. It's not like the Republican-led states don't have people that are going to receive the student loan forgiveness. It's going to go to 43 plus million people for every single state. And there's not going to be any taxes raised because of this. You can let me know your thoughts here on this, but here is the details on this. Top lawyers representing a half dozen Republican-led states have now sued the Biden administration in federal court here on Thursday over its student loan forgiveness plan, seeking to block its expected implementation in October, which is basically here. The states are Nebraska, Missouri, Arkansas, Iowa, Kansas, and South Carolina. They jointly filed a 36-page complaint in the U.S. District Court for Eastern District of Missouri. This is the second legal challenge this week as President Joe Biden's debt cancellation plan. Now, as I've said, this sets a dangerous precedence because if this happens and they're able to block it, this sets a dangerous precedence for any type of help that goes out, whether it's stimulus checks, SNAP and food stamp raises, which just happened, 12.5% and $8 billion going towards various programs. There's multiple different things that happen there. I did a video on that, much of which we don't even know yet. There's just a lot of money allocated there. We don't even know what's going to happen there with that. And we do know there's a flat 12.5% raise on there, but there's a lot of different things, moving parts, so we don't even know what's going to happen there yet. But last year, the president did basically kind of an executive order through the USDA where he did a 25% raise, and then there was like a 4 to 5% yearly raise. This year, there's a 12.5% raise through the USDA. Are Republicans going to try to block that? Stimulus checks, Republicans block that, or even Democrats too. Remember back when we go back to the 2020 executive order by former President Donald Trump, when he did an executive order that passed $300 per week unemployment checks for millions and millions of Americans. ended up being $1,800 or $2,400 if states pitched in an extra $100. So it was $1,800 to $2,400 for millions and millions of Americans. Trump did this through an executive order right before the 2020 election. He did this with money that was already approved by Congress and was sitting in the disaster relief fund. The executive order basically just shifted the money from the disaster relief fund and sent it out through executive order for unemployed Americans. Okay. I said at the time, I said, well, this is a good thing. It goes out to help people who need the money. And the Democrats could challenge this in a court of law. But I remember saying at the time, I said this multiple times. I said, I hope the Democrats don't do this because this is money going to go to people who need it. And I think that would be a bad move for the Democrats. And the Democrats didn't challenge it in a court of law. And it stuck. It stuck. It was a gray area on whether or not the Democrats could challenge it or whether it would stick. But nonetheless, it wasn't challenged. And millions of people got an extra $1,800 to $2,400 through Trump's executive order. Now, Biden has done this executive order for student loan forgiveness. They don't even have to print money. They're basically just wiping the debt off the student loan forgiveness. The government basically owns this debt. They just write it off. There's no taxes raised. Nobody's paying any additional taxes. Just like with the food stamp raise that just happened. Nobody's paying any additional taxes there. These type of programs actually happen all the time. If you watch my channel, 32 or 33 different states are sending out stimulus checks, tax rebate checks, property tax checks. There's all sorts of various programs going on like this all the time. But this sets a dangerous precedence here because now the Republicans are filing lawsuits to potentially, if it goes through the court systems and it gets blocked, 43 million people could not get this $10,000 to $20,000 in student debt forgiveness. What if this happens again? What if it's the next stimulus check? What if it's the next SNAP raise? What if it's the next something for low income people? It's about 87 to 90% of people that are getting the student debt forgiveness are people that make under $75,000 a year. This is basically for low and middle income people. I mean, and we've seen the stories here. We know that these are people that are teachers. These are people that are nurses. These are people that struggle with these bills and pay on them for years and years and years and years. And if anything, these are people that they take out a loan and the interest alone ends up crushing them. And again, me and my wife, we don't even have any student loans. So it's not like I'm advocating for this for me. We actually paid off our student loans. So it's not like this is going to help me. The reason I say that is because it's not going to help me, okay? I could be the person that would be mad at this because we paid off our student loans, okay? I just feel like that this is the type of thing that, again, just like with the unemployment bonus, that wasn't something that helped me. I was thankful that millions of people got help. I didn't get the unemployment bonus. I was thankful that millions of people got the help. Right now, you think about the disaster relief right now for Florida, same exact thing. Millions of people, in fact, look at this here. This right here, Governor Ron Desantis's page here. A lot of people are talking about this right now. Governor Ron DeSantis requests President Biden approve major disaster declaration and 100% federal cost share for 60 days from Hurricane Ian. So, it's interesting here because, Governor Ron DeSantis is always bashing the president. Always. That Florida, his recent slogan here is, don't tread on Florida. In fact, he sells T-shirts for this for $25 a pop. And he's always, in fact, he's one of the ones trying to take away the aid for even Floridians for student loan forgiveness. So don't help the Floridians with student loan forgiveness, and he's got billions and billions of dollars of stimulus money that he hasn't sent out. In fact, one of the viewers actually told me about this. Back in 2013, when Governor Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, was just a congressman, on his second day as a Congressman Ron DeSantis, before he was governor, voted against Hurricane Sandy funding on his second day of being a congressman. He received a lot of criticism about his voting record when it comes to hurricane aid funding. But now he's asking the government, he's asking President Biden to pay for 100% of the federal cost share for 60 days of Hurricane Ian, even though here's another article literally right from Florida. This is from the Palm Beach Post, actually. So this is coming directly from Florida. You see, Hurricane Ian has temporarily washed away our bootstraps with the storm surge, and now we can't pull them up on our own. What we really need is to rejoin the United States of America so we can rely on all for one ethos of our country that we've suddenly become fond of. We're through posturing ourselves as a breakaway state operating in defiance of the federal government. Sure, we've acted that way, refusing to participate in national healthcare expansions and being the only state to refuse submitting a plan for using federal relief dollars for schools, ordering COVID vaccinations for our children. But now, please send FEMA. And while we're apologizing, we're really sorry about our governor's recent habit of calling President Biden names, such as President Brandon or the American Nero. If DeSantis only knew that Biden's immediate response to the Florida-bound storm would be, "We'll be there every step of the way." This is directly from the Palm Beach Post. This is what they're saying. This is what Florida is saying. So let me know your thoughts. But nonetheless, the federal government is going to be helping out Florida here. Here's some details already. You can see here Florida homeowners and renters in Charlotte, Collier, DeSoto, Hardy, Hillsborough, Lee, Manatee, Pinellas, Sarasota counties who are affected by Hurricane Ian may apply for FEMA disaster assistance, and there might be more counties here as well. Survivors can apply for disaster assistance at disasterassistance.gov or by calling this phone number 800-621-3362 from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. This is on FEMA.gov. This is a press release here, Easter time, or by using the FEMA mobile app. So you can share this video with anybody, or share this video with them, or the website or the phone number or anything like that. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens. The other problem here is that the last time a major hurricane hit Florida, a lot of insurance companies went bankrupt. I think I seen on the news station the last time 10 insurance companies went bankrupt last time around. So file your insurance early. Don't wait. You don't want to be one of the last people to file insurance claims just in case something like that happens, especially if you're not with one of the major, really large insurance companies, just to be precautious. Also, this is directly from the FEMA website, okay? Please be very aware of scams. There's probably going to be a lot of scams going on right now with this hurricane, so please be very aware. I'll keep you up to date here. Remember, we're supposed to be the United States of America. Let's try to stand together, be kind, be positive. Again, thoughts and prayers for everybody. We're now going to have multiple states dealing with this. Let's try to be united. Okay. I get that Republicans and Democrats want to never get along. Let's use this as a time to look at what's going on. Look at what's going on in Ukraine. There's a possible nuclear war, massive hurricanes. It's, if anything, this is a time to stand together. So let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I'll keep you up to date here with everything going on here in our country on a daily basis. So make sure to subscribe down below to our YouTube channel if you haven't yet. It's completely free to do so. This way you won't miss out on new videos. Click the bell icon after you subscribe so you get notifications when we go live. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can click here to watch my newest video next. And here is my newest video about Social Security raises. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.